Welcome to the Week 13 TFL Fantasy Preview. A lot of football has already been played up until this point, but there's a lot of football that's on the horizon here. You know, this week is interesting. We have some people that are fighting for their playoff lives to still continue. We have some people trying to avoid the plunge, some people trying to make a last-second push at getting that coveted first-round bye. So there's a lot to look at here in the TFL standings. I think first and foremost, you got teams that kind of control their own destiny. Pete, you win, you're in. It's that simple. Christian, you win, the bye is yours. Chris, guy's allergic to losing. You win, that is your first round bye. And some of these other teams, you know, they're hoping and praying on the downfall of others. Tim needs Pete to lose, obviously. Ernie's still on the outside looking in. I mean, a lot of it comes down to points for, too. And if you don't have many points, you don't really have a shot. But listen, you're looking at that grind 1-4 division, there's a 3-horse race right now. Because if Tim and Pete drop these next two games and Ernie wins out, Ernie's got more points than both of them. Ernie's probably going to be in the playoffs, which is essentially just like a third bye because the team that plays Ernie is then easily going to coast into the semifinals. Hopefully that karma that I just put out there doesn't come back to bite me. But, I mean, it's grind 1-4 division. It's like charity, dude. It's like the Make-A-Wish kid. Like, yeah, we'll let you come to the dance, but like everyone's laughing at you. Like nobody's like concerned that you're there or paying much attention to you. Just kind of like a joke is what your division is. Your division is an absolute joke. So speaking of jokes, Dan's team here, you know, they're 3-9. You don't want to see a guy double down on the polar plunge, man. Not twice. We've just started the thing. I'd rather see somebody else's half-naked body than Dan's. Yeah, but hey, listen, I need to pull this one out, man. Somehow, some way. If you can knock off Chris and I win this week, then I have a date with Chris to decide who gets the bye. It's just, Dan, I don't know, man. I mean, 29 points from Mahomes is very nice. Unfortunately, Christian Watson balled the fuck out. I mean, Parker Washington's just like a tough start at all times. But who knows, man? Hey, who knows? There's the Island of Misfit Toys is a place that Dan has been to before and is a place that has given him success. So let me go ahead and pick with my heart and my gut and let's have full chub, man. Let's get full chub to full mass. But Chris's team is fucking loaded. So good luck, Dan. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Now, this is interesting because we have Drake and the Young Hosts taking on Oasis. Now, Liam's team is ass, which is why he's 4-8. However, again, Liam in the Dirty Albs doing a little polar plunge. I personally would love to see that. I also, for the dramatic effect of, you know, the TFL, I would like to see Christian lose. That way, him and George are tied potentially for that bye. And then, obviously, next week means everything here. And Jordan Love with a 32-piece. Chase Brown's kind of coming to his own, especially, I mean, now that Joe Burrow's back, that's going to be a great plug and play. I mean, listen, dude, if Brian Thomas Jr. can resemble an NFL-quality wide receiver, Williams' team is a tough matchup, especially late in the year when you just look at the team, like, you know, record-wise and where he's in the standings is not great. But, dude, Williams' team is no walk in the park. That's for sure. 1 point from Zay Flowers fucking kills Train. Yeah, Devontae Smith with kind of a quiet 9 points. I expect Oasis to lull the Drake and the Young Hosts to sleep and get the win, and then it'll turn into a really interesting last week of the season for that New York division. So we got the Plunge Boys taking on Team Mac and Cheese. Huge game from A.J. Brown. Big game from Jameson Williams. No Amon-Ra in that offense anymore because he went down with injury, and a lot of people are saying that Jameson Williams should be the wide receiver one no matter what. And to those people, I would say you're probably correct because Jamel's looking like a certified baller when Goff could actually get him the rock. Joe Burrow's back for the Plungers. That's nice. Travis Kelce had a touchdown. You got to love that. This game's going to come down to the wire. You know, P had all of his heavy hitters kind of go already, and then there's just kind of like ass that's left for him. Like, Ted McMillan playing against a good Rams defense is a tough matchup. Michael Wilson has been, like, playing well. I think Marv might be back today. So don't love that as much as you once did probably last week. And the Plungers, man, I mean, dude, you got Bijan, you got Devontae, who's maybe the #1 red zone target in football. The flexes, like I said, Ernie found at the bottom of the dumpster. But other than that, man, I don't mind the Plungers here. And this is going to go down to the wire, but I think, my God, dude, if Pete makes the playoffs, that would just be objectively hilarious. So let me get Team Mac and Cheese to take this one. George, man, you fighting for your life, dude. Amon-Ra getting hurt stings. Like, that just fucking stings. And I mean, you look across to the Money Mob, it's like, Money Mob's not that good of a team. There's not really that many, like, guys that really instill fear in you. I mean, Chase, you survive 18 points, that's fine. Other than him, like, Daniel Jones is like a broken bone in his fucking shin right now. So, like, on paper, George should be able to pull this out. It's just, man, I think this, I hate to say it, this might be another one of the swings and misses, flipping the coin on the quarterback, George, and picking the wrong guy. But, hey, I'm a Bo Weaver, so maybe he gets it done there. I like the Mob to play spoiler here. I think the Mob is done. I think they're down. They don't have enough points to, even if they do tie, get to 7-7. I don't think that matters because they haven't scored that many points. But respect for Kimani to keep fighting to the finish line here. I like the Mob. I like the Mob to handle George. But also, listen, if George is also too many points behind Christian. George would need to be a full game up to get that bye. So hopefully George pulls this out again, just for the entertainment value of it. But shouts out to Mob, man. Way to fight to the finish line, Kimani. All right, we got nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday taking on Mike and the Kirko Bills. Another guy playing this game all the way out, seeing the season through. You got to respect something like that. Mike's got a decent team, man. I mean, getting DK back is nice. Abuka, I think, is a little more healthy now. I mean, Stafford's a baller. Cortland Sutton's a nice flex. I don't know where it all went wrong, Mike. But again, like, you got a team that's 3-9. You kind of expect it to be a cakewalk, and it's just not. So that's definitely tough. Rashee Rice with an absolute monster game. Unfortunately, Caleb was painting his nails and not putting up fantasy points, so that's going to hurt. I like Mike to get this done here. And again, like, Tim doesn't necessarily need to win. Well, it depends. There's a lot that needs to happen for this Grind 1-4 division. Obviously, you got to win. You got to win this game. But, dude, I don't know. Mike's got some heavy hitters in the lineup, and I actually like Kirko to play spoiler here. And going into the last matchup of the week, we have the Badgers taking on Baltimore. Again, unless Chris loses, I'm not playing for anything. Isaiah also is not playing for anything because he's up so many points against Kimani, who's the only guy that could potentially catch him. I guess Tim technically could too. Yeah, I guess Isaiah is playing for something here. But you wouldn't think it based on the performance from Lamar Jackson. I don't know if it's his hamstring. I don't know if that offense is just bad now. I mean, it seems like the Baltimore Ravens are just addicted to giving games away. They don't really have, like, any of those, like, separators at the pass catching position, which, is important. Lamar really didn't use his legs much. That's definitely worrisome going into the fantasy playoffs for Isaiah. George Pickens kind of came back down to earth after being unconscious for the past 3 weeks. Listen, I'm going to ride with my guys. Needed a little bit more out of Rome. DeAndre Swift, thank God, got vultured by Kyle Monangai for like the 18th time this season. Otherwise, Baltimore would be in a good spot here. Nico's going to be interesting going up against a good Colts defense. Maybe Sauce matches up with him. And, other than that, Troy Franklin can always, like, have a big play. Chris Olave, same thing. But I think, like, kind of like the bulk of Isaiah's talent has already gone off the board. And I still have Josh Allen. So, I like my chances here, but again, it doesn't matter unless Chris loses. So let's get this dub, Dan. I need you, buddy. I need you to come through for me here. Best of luck to everybody. If you're playing for something, if you're playing for nothing, just as long as you have fun, guys. Best of luck. Let's get it.